Hey everyone, Pooh again. Kind of came across this story of Lil Wayne being on the new Undisputed show with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. And this is a nice video. I mean, I'm not much of a Lil Wayne fan myself, like, I never really listened to him. But, I really enjoyed what he had to say here.
I remember one time I saw you after you had done a concert. I think it was in Westchester, different kind of neighborhood, but I asked you what the racial breakdown was of your audience. Do you remember this? And you told me the only black face you could see in the whole audience was your makeup artist. I believe that's what you said, and she was in the front row, right? A lot of white kids love rap.
Yes.
Explain that. What does that say to you? What's the message of it? What's the bigger picture of it?
I don't want to be bashed because I don't want to sound like I'm on the wrong if there is a side, but I thought that was clearly a message that there was no such thing as racism. That's what I thought that was.
Okay, I got
That
it.
was a perfect example. When I look out and I come up off the stage, when I'm coming out the bottom of the stage of my show, when I'm on tour, and I'm in my stance or whatever, and I open my eyes and I see everybody. I don't see I don't have this type of crowd or that type of. My crowd has always been everybody, thank God, and that's all I can answer for. So
And that was a great, And right off the bat, I had a feeling that he was going to get some pushback from somebody. Wasn't really sure who, but he was definitely going to get some pushback for having that kind of an attitude that he felt that racism doesn't exist. And, and I'll give Wayne the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure he understands that racism does exist to a point, but without knowing him personally, I'm not sure exactly what he meant by that. Did he mean institutionalized racism, um, systemic racism, systematic racism? I mean, what did he mean by that racism doesn't exist? Again, I believe that if I were to ask him, do you believe it doesn't exist at all in any way, shape, or form? He might walk that statement back and say, well, yes, I do believe that racism does exist somewhere. Again, just giving the guy the benefit of the doubt. And that's just the text of the interview there. Said Little Wayne said racism doesn't exist. I told you he was going to get pushed back here. He sees white kids at his show. Okay. And I can say, hey, yeah, he sees white kids there. Maybe those kids aren't racist. Or maybe they just are racist and just really dig his music. It's wild to hear people like Lil Wayne and Cam Newton saying racism doesn't exist when they've been discriminated against from the jump. Yeah, but here's the problem with that notion there. First, people are capable of being discriminated against without there being anything racist involved. It is possible. I know a lot of people tend to think they go hand in hand, but not always. It just not always. You really have to know the heart and mind of the person who's being discriminatory against the person that they're discriminating against. So with Lil Wayne logic, white slave masters who had slaves cooking their foods weren't racist because they was in a house taking care of them. Thanks a lot, Tia. No, dummy. See, this is the problem that you have. He didn't say racism has never existed. He's saying that it doesn't exist today. Again, I disagree with him on that. But again, don't know what he meant. Either way, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's logicking. That's the conclusion you're jumping to because of your own prejudices. Holy crap. Oh, man. He didn't say it never existed. Let's see, what's this one say? White kids loving rap music means there's no such thing as racism. Wow. Again, these people just do not want to give the man the benefit of the doubt here. Little Wayne saying there's no such thing as racism means he put himself back on that retirement list in my mind. Right. Because white people are racist. That they'll just stop listening to Lil Wayne's music, even though he says, that racism doesn't exist. I can tell you this much: if he reaches out to enough white people, I'm not saying that he does. Don't know. I think he'll be fine. And the retrograde, I'm Lil Wayne. I've been worshipped all my life. When he doesn't realize they worship his ability and fame, not his skin color. Um, yeah. Yeah, actually, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not exactly sure what the hell she's trying to say here. I'm Lil Wayne. I've been worshipped all my life. When he doesn't realize they worship his ability. Well, anyway. Well, there's nothing like putting words into the mouth of another person, right? I suppose it's not possible for people to appreciate his ability and fame and not care about what his skin color is. Again, folks, not a fan of Wayne's. I've heard a couple of things I thought were okay, but I just didn't feel the need to go out of my way and purchase anything or continue to listen to anything that he's done. But I tell you what, now I'm half inclined to do so because being the non-white racist that I am, and seeing this guy as a potential plantation black brother, hey man, I may have to go start listening to him, especially since he's going to lose all that black support. I want to make sure that he can continue to, dump champagne on expensive cell phones. Y'all seen that commercial? Anyway, guys, I just wanted to address this one real quick. I'm loving the replies that Wayne got, and hope you enjoyed. You have a good one.